Okay, so I am joined here with one of my amazing former clients, Nicole, who is a wealth coach, and she has just added like energetics to all her amazing money, wealth creation, uh, wisdom. And I'm just gonna leave it at that so she can introduce herself and actually talk about what she does. Who do you help? How do you help them?
Yes. Well, thank you, Deanna. My name's Nicole. So I'm a financial coach, educator. I'm also trained in intuitive guidance and the energetic principles and spiritual principles of money and I would say kind of life. So the way that I really describe my work is helping women build wealth from the inside and out.
Hmm.
So my background was very much started on the strategic financial side, financial planning, how to invest, how to manage your money, get out of debt, all those things. And then there was a point where I noticed you can do all those things. And sometimes it's just not working, right? You're not
Yeah.
being able to call in wealth. You're not feeling any better about your money. And so that's the energetics, the beliefs, the internal work. And so, really, when you pair those two together, it gives you the best advantage over your money. And that was really the biggest gift and transformation that I experienced through money was really combining both of those
Yeah.
pieces of the puzzle to be able to call in wealth, hold it, and grow it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge. And I just love that you were able to join like those two. I think for anything that I have ever wanted to like master in my life, there has always been like the very strategic, skills component and then the mindset component for literally anything you name it, like health, relationships, like money, business. There's always those components. And I feel like when you merge both, in everything that has to do with like building wealth and just getting really good with your money is just to me it's just rocket fuel. So I just love that that's the direction that you took in your business. And yeah, and I'm also so excited for you to talk about like more of that towards the end of this episode, so people can find you and yeah, one can just experience your magic. So excited about that. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm like so excited to talk more about the journey that we went together. And I think the biggest thing that I ask every single person that I have like had this chat with is what exactly you were feeling, like in the like as it related to your business way back when we started working together that got you interested in working together. Like what got you in this journey basically? What were you experiencing, thinking, and all that stuff. So take
Yeah.
us back there.
Totally. Yeah, no, I remember it very clearly. The biggest thing for me was when I started out as a coach, there was no like real, I guess, training, at least for me in the financial space from a coaching aspect. I didn't really feel that there was much on like how to be a good coach and really develop that skill.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that I was teaching and doing, like I knew how valuable it was. I knew all the ins and outs, but there was part of me that just felt like in my body that it was like almost like this fear of are people going to actually like buy from me? Like, are they going to really see what I'm doing and see that it's worth it? And so it was kind of
Mm.
like just this underlying fear of showing up, like even going on webinars and doing workshops. I felt
Mm-hmm.
like my nervous system and my heart felt like it was like pounding out of my chest. It was really, really bad. Even like
Yeah.
probably a conversation like this, I would originally be nervous and like a little bit shaking on, even though it's a one-on-one, just because there is the record button. And so it was just kind of like honestly a big fear of showing up. And I remember when we were at um, an event, you were talking and you specifically mentioned how before you were like super afraid to be on stage and now you're like I'm on stage with no problem speaking in front of people in person and there's not really like any fear there or it's very manageable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that really stuck out to me and it was why I reached out to work with you because that's how I wanted to feel, right? Like I knew that I've gotten feedback that I'm a good speaker and that I'm a good coach and whatever, but like I wanted to
Yeah.
feel that way and feel like confident and comfortable showing up. So that's really what kicked things off
Mm-hmm.
together.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. I love that. And I can so relate to everything that you were saying. It's like I mean the biggest thing that I had was same thing, like that whole fear of showing up in all these different ways, speaking, and same, like even from one-on-one, and like all the way to groups. It was just like so nerve-wracking. So I'm happy that just, I don't know, sharing the story. I don't even know when it was or whatever, but I'm happy. I'm always happy that like when I share the stories of personal things that I have overcome, it also like can make people relate, and I can so relate to that. And for us, that have to show up so much in business in so many different ways, it can really get in the way of like us growing the business, our businesses, so that's awesome. And then tell me a little more about like how you felt, or what things shifted, or like take me through a little of the journey of what things shifted, in the way that you were showing up in business, how like it became different, like you start having a different experience of it as we start working together, and maybe share some of the like breakthroughs that you remember that really stand out for you.
Yeah. I just remember, especially when it came to working with one-on-one clients and even taking sales calls, I there was still like a little bit of anxiousness, but it was very manageable at first. So, because it was still
Mm.
new for me, so there was still like there's always going to be anxiousness when there's something
Yeah,
new, but it was manageable. And then it got to the point where it just no longer like existed anymore. And that's one thing I want to add to because like people think that you're always going to have fear and always going to have anxiety and you're always going to feel something, but I don't agree with that because
yeah,
there have been times where like I have done workshops and presentations and I feel so much like present and emotionless in my body other than just like
yeah.
I'm genuinely excited to provide value. And I
Yeah,
think that's
I
like the
love
real
that.
power in this is like it
Yeah,
has nothing to do with you. It's literally just your body signaling that there's a fear there and it's something that wants to be released from the body. And the work that I did with you was able to actually release that and allow me to keep showing up and putting my work out there and helping
yeah,
people. And ultimately, I think whenever we want to shift and help people, we have to help ourselves and go through that in order so we can show up our best. So, yeah, I would say specifically just the feeling of I can do this and the feeling of like I can breathe and it's going to be okay and this doesn't mean anything about me and it's normal to feel a little bit of these feelings and fears. It made me feel like really seen working with you. And the other thing about your work specifically was I just like that you experience those things and so I could relate to you a lot with that.
mm.
And I felt like you had my best intention and could hold me through that process because I know that I probably like shed some tears too, even on the calls with you. I know the relationship stuff we did, but yeah, so
Yeah.
I really value that. I still think about that all the time.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, no, and it's just like, I mean, seriously, well, thank you so much for sharing that. And there's two things that I want to highlight there before I get into what I was gonna say. The first one is that things like that you said initially, it's like we did the work. There was still some like, nerves or whatever, because obviously it was new, unfamiliar, right? You were still getting your reps in that specific context of like handling one-on-one clients and also sales, but it was manageable. And I think that's one big point that I always tell people is not that you do this work and then all of a sudden nothing is there the next day. You still have to like I always tell people it's like taking action is almost like what really sinks those transformations into the body. Doing the reps still sends a signal to your, primitive brain, oh yeah, this is safe to do. But then on the other hand of it, when you actually do what you did, which is like you took our work and you actually took action, which also is like I always want to reflect that back to clients. It's not like we were just doing the healing work. You were constantly just going at it and going at it and really just like persevering through anything that was like coming up, and then we were clearing things and then you were going at it again, and I just love that because that to me, that's where the magic happens. It's action and it's healing. It's both. And then when you do that enough, then you get to the point that exactly that you were saying. The second thing that I wanted to like just reflect back to you and just like kind of like highlight, right? Is that when you go through that process, you can get to the point where you don't feel so activated anymore or at all, where you feel just comfortable, present, and like in such a state of like just service and excitement, like I'm here to give. And it's such a great feeling to be in, when you're like, I don't know, selling, marketing, and all these different things. Like it's such a great place to be because it's so powerful, I think. So that's amazing that you were able to like get to that point. And I really want to spotlight, that there's always a team effort. Like you wouldn't have been able to get to that point without those reps. You know what I mean? And like, and obviously, yeah, I'm facilitating all the things, but it's always like the two of us together, creating this magic, So thank you so much as well for you for showing up like you did in our, in our work together and actually taking that action that made that transformation possible, So yeah. And then what I was gonna say, oh yeah, like about what you were saying, there's like that you were, yeah, that you felt held in the container. I feel like it's just I don't know, like I have experienced so much, like so many blogs, as it relates to many of the things that my clients have like are going through, so I get so excited for them to just like overcome that issue, so you can just like shine. So anyways, it just makes me so happy. Like I can't even tell you, it's like my joy. So anyways, thank you so much for sharing that. I was very much just like holding the vision of like Nicole just being able to do whatever the F she wanted, just being able to like market and sell and just like be your most authentic self, however you want it, like, and yeah, and that was always a vision that, anyways, I love holding for everyone. So I'm so happy to see you just like doing all your things and recording your podcast, and I don't know, it just makes me so happy. So yeah, and then okay, so like tell me a little more about like okay, awesome. You got these transformations and then how did that impact your business, your like work after, like I don't know, what happened after basically?
Yeah, a couple of things. Number one, it inspired me to learn more about the subconscious mind and how all of that part of the equation works because it's probably the most powerful thing out there is really knowing how to master the mind and understanding that that is what essentially controls your entire external reality. So that number one. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it just had a huge ripple effect out into the way that I showed up, the way that I would do workshops and webinars online. It like my first launch was a complete, well, from a numbers perspective, there was zero sales. So I call it a complete failure, but it really was such a good learning opportunity.
Mhm.
And it allowed me to, instead of just look at it as a failure and be like, okay, this isn't working, like, let's do it again. Like, come on, this is literally version one, maybe point
Yeah.
one. So so it's like, it was like, okay, this is just something that happened. And now it's time to get back up and do it again.
Mm.
And just look at everything from a learning perspective, not as like there's something wrong with you or that's a failure. But I think that's one of the biggest gifts was really understanding how like this is just like a product of what's going on internally. And when you shift that, it's going to then allow you to operate and take actions differently, which is going to then bring in different results.
Yeah. That's so cool. I love that. Oh my God, I love that. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for all of that. Now, almost wrapping this up, yeah, last question. I would say like if anybody's on the fence, let's just imagine like somebody's on the fence thinking about like doing this work. Maybe they're skeptical. Maybe they have tried things before and it has not tried. They still feel like blocked or like held back by fears, doubts, limiting beliefs, whatever it may be. What would you tell them?
I would tell them absolutely. I would say that that's very normal. I mean, there's a lot of information out there. There are a lot of coaches out there. I think what drew me towards you is I got to know you personally first, and that really gave me like the trust and confidence to explore that. And the other thing that I really like about how you do what you do is you bring in multiple different tools and modalities. and you cater it to the person's need. It's not like I have this one tool and we're going to use it on you because that's just the tool I use. You have a bunch of different modalities that you mix and bring together for the transformation or the coaching session. Because I remember one time I was expecting one tool and then you brought in these other things, and it was like my whole body like just felt like it had an energetic like purge or something happened. And I was like, okay, this is not what I was expecting, but like this is actually really exactly what I needed. So that's what I like. And you really just tune into what I needed and then based the protocol for the session based on that. And I think there was powerful power in that. And also, I just want to add too, we worked together for a couple like a multi-session package,
Mhm.
and we didn't just focus on the fear of speaking. I thought that was the problem, but like these underlying emotions and energetics actually affect other areas of our life. So there was actually a relationship situation I was navigating that we use these tools for as well, and so that had a huge shift as well and actually made my current relationship like it was great, but like just much better and gave me much more safety in the relationship. So I just wanted to add that as well.
I love that. I always love when like people just finishes like their business stuff, whatever it is, and there's like, okay, now there's some like, relationship stuff or like health stuff or whatever, and they're like, let's just like get to it. It's just like almost like a natural, like transition into like other things because why not, right? Like it works. Let's apply it to other things and just feel so much better. And just like you were saying, a lot of things that we go through in business, 100% impact relationships. I always tell people it's like I had no idea of so many of my relationship blogs until I started working on my business blogs, and then that literally just showed in my face, like, oh shoot, like look at how I'm, like how we do one thing, how we do everything, and sometimes we will be showing up in business in a certain way that we're also showing up or is impacting our relationships, especially like in the whole thing about like being seen, and feeling vulnerable, safe, like so many things. I feel like, anyways, business, money, relationships, health, our relationship with ourselves, and relationships in general is just they're just mirrors, right? So they're just showing up, showing where we need to release things. And yeah, okay, so thank you so much. Basically that's it. If you want to add anything, obviously you can do that. But if not, I want everyone to know where to find you, where to find your amazing work. And just so you know, everyone there, please go to her podcast. I just love hearing her talk. She's so clear, concise, eloquent. I mean, I could say so many things about it, and it's just such a good, like, just I love it. So go to her podcast. But anyways, I'll let you talk about it and
Oh my
just
gosh,
send people to all the things.
you're so sweet. I appreciate that so much. Um, thank you. Yeah, so I started a podcast. I was talking to somebody about the other day and realized it's been, I think, about 6 months since I've been doing it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But it's called the Speaking of Wealth podcast. It's on Apple and Spotify. So I cover pretty much anything related to money, both strategy, energetics,
Mhm.
mindset, and then just general empowerment. Like I really look at, I love money and I really love money as a tool to actually help you become empowered and love yourself. So it's more of
Hmm.
like we're giving you all the money stuff, but you're doing a full internal transformation as well. So a
Yes.
lot of great stuff on there. I'm on Instagram as at She Investor, so more content there. And then another free resource is you can book a free financial clarity call with me. That's something for those who feel like overwhelmed or you're not quite sure what you need, money related. That's like a totally free place. Just have a conversation and get some guidance on the next steps in your financial journey. And then aside from that, I just launched a monthly membership.
I know.
So
I'm so
it's
excited about
called,
it.
yeah, so it's called Inner Circle. The big thing with that is there's a lot of there's a lot of resources within that membership. It's a paid membership, but um, there are past workshops, webinars, there are monthly Q&As with me. And then I also share all my investment picks, predictions, what I'm currently investing in. So if you're looking for a little bit more advantage over that, that's something that I do there as well.
And it's so fun. Okay, awesome. I'm gonna link all the things what I mean, whatever you see is around here. I don't know where that's gonna be because depends like below, above, I don't know, somewhere. And the name of your podcast is Speaking of Wealth, so I'll also link it, right? Like I don't know if you mentioned that, but yeah, and
Yeah.
it's so good. So definitely go check that out. And everything that she's putting out there, highly recommend the follow and the listen and all the things. And yeah, like, and one thing I wanted to say, like that I wanted to say in the beginning, but I just remember before we wrap it out, is like there's one thing I can say about you, and is that you really care. You know, like, and a lot of the things that you came with, that we were working through, like the positive side of that. It's like what is at the root of that is that you truly care for like providing the most amazing experience for your people, transformation, and like truly adding value, So I know that whoever I would ever send your way, like they will be well taken care of, which is
Yeah.
why.
You're literally making me cry right now. Thank you. That means so much. That really does. I
But
appreciate you.
seriously, I just wanted to wrap it up saying that, yeah, you just truly care, and I just love supporting people that truly care about like their people, and just really providing the most amount of value and like and mastering their own self, to be able to be the best that they can be out there because that's our job, right, as coaches. So, anyways, thank you so much for this time and everything that you shared today, and that's it. Thank you.
Right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for having me.
Love you. Bye.
I love you
Thank
too.
you for being here.